the Going to College Education Podcast from the Irish Independent in association with Quality and Qualifications Ireland, QQI, promoting quality and accountability in Irish education and training.
Hello and welcome to the second of Going to College podcast series on independent.ie. The series is brought to you in association with Quality and Qualifications Ireland. By now you will have received your CAO offers, and I hope you got what you wanted. This year, 3 out of 4 applicants received their first, second or third preferences for honours degree level 8 courses. What do they do now? I'm John Walsh, education columnist with the Irish Independent. I'm joined by Guidance Counsellor Betty McLaughlin, QQI Chief Executive Officer Pádraig Walsh and UCD Students' Union Education Officer Stephen Crosby. Betty, can I come to you first? What's the overall picture emerging today?
Well, the overall picture emerging today, as you just referred to there, John, it's a good news story. 3 out of 4 candidates who applied for level 8 courses have received their first preference. Now, that's excellent. As regards the points themselves, we can say 400 courses are actually down in points, 300 are up. So that's the lie of the land as we speak on the first round offers at the moment. Courses that are up, popular, the big ticket courses in general, they have, gone up. For example, we're talking about engineering. That has gone up in UCD by 21 points. Science has gone up. Primary teaching has gone up. Secondary teaching has gone up significantly. Physical education teaching, language teaching, music education teaching. They have gone up. Freble has gone up as well in 14 points. That is primary teaching in Maynooth. And for those students out there who have applied for arts, they have come down, which is consistent with former years. So anybody heading for the arts courses should have a good news story this morning if they have put down enough choices in that area.
And if they get their choice and they want to accept the place, what do they do now?
If they get their choice, they have now 4 days until the 24th to decide that they are accepting that course. If they want to accept it, they just log on to the cao.ie and tick the box that I accept. If they want to defer their course, however, if they're not going to accept it, they do not do that. They contact the college directly and seek approval to defer their course.
And Betty, if they didn't get an offer today, does the CAO tell them, sorry, you have no offer?
Yeah. It will. It'll come. They will get a CAO and there will be just no offer there.
Fine, yeah, but yes. They could get an offer on the second round.
That's not to say that it is not. This is only the beginning. We're only starting on the CAO journey this morning of offers. They go significantly every week now, right up to the middle of October. Courses will become available, and second offers will and second, third, fourth, and so on. Offers will come. There is also the facility where they can log on to vacant places on the CAO to see what other opportunities might be there that they could now apply for that they hadn't thought about before.
And Pádraig Walsh, I might ask you, Pádraig, about the new grading system and the new point system that was introduced last year. Can we say it's worked, that's a success, or is it too early to say?
I suppose it's only the second year, which means that you only have 2 data points to look at. And really for trends, you'd probably need to see more than that. I think the fact that there are the points are more spread out than they were previously in terms of means that there will be a possibility of, only where before someone would have needed 520 and you could only get 520, 525, you can now get 521, 522, etc. within that. So I suppose that means that you'll see slight differences in the system. But I think, John, we'll have to wait for a number of years really to be able to tell that.
Good, yeah. And Stephen, I'll come to you. Did you get your first choice?
Funnily enough, I actually didn't get my first choice. I ended up being one of those people who got their third choice.
Very good.
And while it was a small bit disappointing on the day, it did end up being a blessing in disguise. I kind of almost fell into a course that I actually sort of fell in love with. And sort of in UCD and in other colleges, we'd find that to be quite common. So students would come to us and say, listen, I didn't get my first choice. And we'd say, just give it a bit of time. See if you do like the course that you have ended up in, whether it's your second or your third, even your fourth choice, and just give it a bit more time to see if you like it.
And do you get a lot of students coming to you with that sense of worry about their not getting their choice?
Yeah, I mean, we would. This morning we'll probably be getting a few bits of communication from more concerned parents as well. But then when students come in early September, they're going through their orientation, their first couple of weeks of sort of lectures and stuff, they might come to us and say, listen, I'm not sure this is for me. We'll always tell them that if you want to sort of maybe withdraw early and try again next year, you can do that as well. But also, again, to give it a bit of time to get the support that you need. And you might find that after maybe 4 weeks, you actually really do enjoy the course. You're just a bit nervous.
Steve, do you want to tell us what your first choice was and what you ended up doing?
Yeah, for my sins, my first choice was actually politics, philosophy and economics in Trinity. And then I didn't get that or my second choice. And I actually ended up in the BA Arts degree in UCD. So I studied politics and information social computing for a single year and then went into a single honours in politics. So my full degree is just in pure politics and I loved it to pieces.
And you obviously have a career in politics in the future, you think?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how it goes.
Very good, yeah. Probably, one thing that struck me about the statistics was the number of Leaving Cert students who don't apply to the CAO. It's over 9,000 who sat the Leaving Cert this year, didn't apply to the CAO. All the focus today, obviously, is on those who get college offers. Are we a bit obsessed in Ireland with college degrees and overlook the other options?
I mean, I suppose it's understandable that we have this focus on it because we have a central system. Other countries, you apply to individual colleges. So, things come out at different times. We have our Leaving Cert results come out on one day, so there's a natural focus on it. And then the CAO offers come out on a day. So it's understandable that there is a focus on it. But as you say, there's a significant number of people who haven't applied. And, obviously you can apply as where you haven't necessarily decided that you want to go to college as a kind of something that you're putting aside. But if you decide not to apply, the assumption is that someone has decided to do something else. And I suppose with the way the economy is currently, there are chances for people to do things other than college. There's a danger that you're right that we can get obsessed by this, and that 9,000 is a lot of people, and we shouldn't forget about them certainly.
What do they do? What are the other options for that 9,000?
I mean, I'm assuming that a number of those could go on to further education. They could apply to do a QQI course in one of the further ed colleges. Though I'm guessing that a lot of people who would also have looked at that choice would probably have applied through the CAO as well. And there are still people, and I know a number of them, who didn't go to college, didn't apply to college, and found work, very worthwhile work, which people can do in an economy where at the moment where things are good, which is great that people don't feel that they necessarily have to go to college to get something that's satisfying.
Yeah. And there's a lot of interest this year in what the Minister calls learn and earn programs, where students can go on either apprenticeships or some other form of traineeships and study but also earn money.
Yeah, and that is obviously attractive to people. I mean, going to college is different for people, particularly if you have to leave home. And we'll talk about it again. The discipline of school, where you effectively know that you have to do particular things. College may not suit particular people. The chance to do an apprenticeship, and this year one of the big advantages is that apprenticeships, which used to be largely male and largely craft based, there's now a wide variety of new types of apprenticeships that are available in financial services, in network engineering, in insurance practitionership, and they also get you a qualification, in some cases a level 8 qualification, that is the same qualification at the same level of the national framework of qualifications as an honours degree. So the widening of choice is obviously something that will suit more. But some people like the idea of going to college, like the fact that you will have time off in the summers. Other people want to get out and earn, and that's the advantage of an apprenticeship. It's a contract of employment, and as I say, it's earn and learn. And the big advantage now is that apprenticeships will span between level 5 and level 9 on the National Framework of Qualification. So it's probably becoming a much more attractive career for people to look at.
So you'll be able to get a master's qualification?
Yes, the equivalent of that. In fact, in University of Limerick this year, they're putting through a process that you could get a doctoral award at apprenticeship level. So there's nothing ruled out by becoming an apprentice.
Yeah, that'll certainly raise the status of apprenticeships in Ireland, which I think is badly needed.
It is, and that's something that the Minister was interested in. He was also interested in trying to broaden apprenticeship beyond the traditional craft base, particularly to make it more attractive to female applicants.
Yeah, and Betty, are there more female applicants going forward for these new programmes?
Yes, indeed, there are. I have met up with a number of students during the year. Girls going for that network engineering, girls going for construction programs, which is marvellous. And I think there is a culture shift. It is happening, and Solas are doing a lot to get that moving as well. QQI, the very fact that it is rubber stamped by QQI, particularly those learn and earn ones, is making it very, very attractive for students. Very attractive.
Yes, it might mean that instead of going to college and working part-time, students will in future be able to work, not quite full-time, but study and earn money at the same time. Yes.
Yeah, it might. And to be honest, I mean, we would always find that we have a lot of students who come into, through the traditional CAO route, and they're doing a level 8, and they do have to work part-time in order to finance themselves. So any opportunity to be able to pick up an apprenticeship and kind of learn and earn at the same time is great. I mean, as Paul was saying, if QQI are willing to put it on the national framework up to a level 9, then that's brilliant. And to be honest, learning is learning, and it will always stand to you. And if you can earn and get a bit of money while you're doing it as well, and people will still go down the traditional route of college, university, master's degree. But I mean, if we can widen the horizons for people, I don't see why it's a bad thing.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, Betty, just come back to those who don't get an offer today. But they'll still, as Park had mentioned, they'll still have options.
Absolutely.
But they might still get an offer subsequently?
Oh, they absolutely could, because what happens is, like courses are given out. It's a supply and a demand, and the number of applicants in a huge number of courses will far exceed the number of places that are available. But as students decide that they may not take their offer this year, more places become available. So when those places become available, the points drop to the next people in the queue who are most eligible to be offered that place. So they please don't lose heart because you didn't get an offer today. Please do look at the post-leaving cert option. If your leaving cert didn't allow you to get in this route, you look at your post-leaving cert option that would be nearest aligned to the course of your choice and apply for that. Their post-leaving cert further ed courses are still available and still open for applicants. And, do contact your guidance counsellor and do contact your ETB, your local ETB, and they will appraise you of what's available to you.
And the number of applicants to the CAO overall was actually down this year. Mind you, the number of students taking the leaving certificate was down as well. Is that trend likely to continue, or is there a demographic bulge still working its way through the secondary school system that will result in more applicants from school leavers in future?
The demography would say, and we've been hearing for the last number of years, that we have to provide for increasing number of college places because there are still more people coming through the system. This year, as you say, there was a reduction, but we really won't know in terms of applications until next year. This blip has occurred before where there was a drop and then it has gone back up again. So it really takes 3 years to see a trend.
Yeah, but there was also a slight decline this year in the number of students applying from Northern Ireland, which I think is disappointing, particularly in the context of Brexit, and in the number of mature applicants. Why do you think, Parag, that the number of mature applicants is down? Is that because they all have, quotes, good jobs, or they're more satisfied than they were in terms of their employment prospects?
There's a possibility that some of the mature applicants in previous years were people who were looking to get qualifications because they couldn't get work or had lost work, and that again in an economy that is showing strong growth and strong employment, that there are more people, there are less people out there who either have the time to take off or the need to take off to do a programme. I mean, the Northern Ireland situation is disappointing, as you say, but understandable, because Brexit there's still uncertainty around it, and it's really not until it happens and people see what happens in terms of what impact it will have on the possibility of people being able to come, the choices and costs. Until that's gone, you will have uncertainty. When you have uncertainty, people just don't apply for things if they're not sure.
Indeed, and quite a number of young people from the Republic go to universities in the UK and in Northern Ireland. Some of your friends have gone, Stephen, to the UK?
Some of them would have applied, and then some of them would be planning to go to the United Kingdom for postgraduate courses. And I mean, one of the things we deal with in the union and unions across Ireland in colleges would deal with is relationships between obviously the Northern Ireland, the Republic, and then the rest of the United Kingdom. And, you know, the universities in the United Kingdom have given assurances that they're still obviously going to accept Irish students, that the common travel area is still going to stand. But kind of, as Padraig was saying, until Brexit actually kicks in, we really don't know what's going to happen. So it's sort of trying to provide reassurance to students that would have gotten their offers this morning, if they're applying through a UCAS system, etc., that for now everything's okay, but just to keep an eye on the news and see what's happening.
And Betty, if there's a hard Brexit, I mean, we have about, I think it's 11 or 12,000 students from the Republic in the UK at the moment. If there's a hard Brexit, will those students or their successors want to study at home, adding to the pressure on places in Irish colleges?
I think, as Pádraig said there, with the uncertainty, I think they will be looking for a lot of assurance before they apply. They will be worried as to whether their course will be, you know, recognised. In Europe at the moment, we have European recognition for courses, and if you study in the UK, your course is recognised, you know, all through Europe. Now we don't know what's going to happen, so and until we do, that's going to be difficult to say. But I must say, our students who have gone abroad in the past, I would hope things there won't be a hard Brexit, because I have lots of my own past pupils who have studied abroad in the UK have had great success and a very enjoyable, worthwhile experience there. So we'll watch that one carefully.
Thank you. And just, I suppose the message from today really is well done to those who've got their offers. And, there are now plenty of opportunities there, and we wish them all the very best of luck into the future. So thank you very much, Betty McLaughlin, Pádraig Walsh and Stephen Crosby.
The Going to College Education Podcast from the Irish Independent in association with Quality and Qualifications Ireland, QQI, promoting quality and accountability in Irish education and training.